AI is going to change the world. It's going to be revolutionary. You've never seen anything like this. Imagine a world where people don't have to work, where robots take care of everything and you can finally just relax. Except you're not going to have any money, everything's going to be super expensive, and the service is going to be dog shit. This is how I feel about AI. Now, all the billionaires, scumbags, they're going to eventually be found. I'm not going to say too much about what should happen to them, but you can't just do this and gaslight everybody, right? Because what's the narrative? AI is so fucking amazing. You know, everything is so great. Everything is here. It's right here in your face. You won't have to work. Now they're talking about, oh, well, maybe we can go down to a 3-day week or something, you know? It's almost like, well, I know what it is. It's gaslighting. But it's not going to work. Eventually, these fools are going to have to stay in their bunker because someone's going to try to take them out. And am I mad about that? Nah, I don't like any of those guys. I don't like Zuckerberg. I don't like Kevin O'Leary and Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. None of those guys honestly deserve to be here. I'm not going to lie. This is my opinion. They need the guillotine. Figuratively, you know, not literally. But these people are so obsessed with paper that they force other people to basically just give everything away. Their time, their energy. And now the best part is, now that they strapped everybody with tons of debt, now they're like, oh, okay, well, let's look at, and it's always just a lie. It never ceases to amaze me. One, how rich these guys are, but how rich they are to the point where their whole life is consumed by not being a billionaire. You know, like, if I had $1 billion, right, I can give two shits if I go down to 800 million in a worst case scenario, right? It doesn't scare me because what the fuck else could you buy, dude? If you have planes, if you have like an island, if you have a Maserati and a Ferrari and you have everything, but somehow you have nothing? Now, I understand this sick economy is a forward progression. You need to always be getting more. But it's like, dude, what are you doing? It's just about power, but it's such a loser mentality, dude. If I was a billionaire, I would be somewhere on a beach drinking Mai Tai. And they probably are. But this obsession they have with making their number go up is ruining everything for everyone. And it's gonna come back to bite these fools, man. But it's like, you know, and you know what's weird? It's almost like they too are being possibly forced into this, you know, like maybe they're doing this, but maybe there is somewhere some guy or something that's forcing them to do this. Because why wouldn't you just live out your life, right? Because think about it. If you're a billionaire, you don't have to worry about money. We can say that. Shouldn't you spend your life enjoying it 100%? 100%. Not 97, not 98, not 62%. You know, like, if I was a billionaire, I would only do things I love. Unless they just genuinely loved, and I'm sure they do to some degree, you know, trying to scheme their way to more money and stuff, but it just seems like a fucking waste of time. You know, once you have the castle, what does it really matter to get two castles, you know? Doesn't really, you'd be better off enjoying your castle in peace. And every time they take more and more, they get more nervous because eventually someone's gonna come after these fools. And then what have you got? So I don't know why these dudes just can't stay in the background and stay the hell out of stuff. Sure, you're making money a little bit slower. You don't have anything to buy. What now? They're gonna create robots and all this other. It's not gonna work. I just feel like all of this might be just to crash the economy, you know? It's not even to really do the AI the way they said it and none of this. It never is. They're just liars. This whole country, this whole world is just liars. It's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. I finally understand that. That's what this world is. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. And it's basically not even really about love. It's more about survival. And it wasn't always like this though. Not always. I mean, we had a point where we were on the right track. But they stole that too. I don't see this ending well, but if I was a billionaire, I'd wake up to some cozy slippers, eat ice cream for breakfast, go lay out in the beach. I don't know. I'd find something to do. But I wouldn't be crunching numbers and relaying information to other guys on how we can come up, 7%, this year. And just don't see why they care so much, unless they're forced to. I don't get it. Why are all these billionaires so active? And I get it, maybe the millionaires, I could kind of see why they're so active, right? Because they've made a lot of money, right? But they haven't had stupid, insanely crazy wealth. They still have a tiny bit of restriction. But these billionaires, they got nothing to worry about. There is literally nothing that they need to get and they're so scumbaggy and to some degree so savvy that you have idiots with no money championing this. I had a guy at my last job, and this is a smart guy. I'd actually consider him smart, He was making money on the side doing AI crap. And I get it. How they get you is, he's like, oh man, I'm making like 30, 35 an hour doing this, these jobs and stuff. And it's like, okay, cool, man. What happens when all the work is finished and then they can replace you? Now they don't need you, they need AI. It's like kind of like, this is a use and abuse and get rid of economy. They will use you. They will traumatize and abuse you, and then they'll toss you to the wayside. I think this is also why you see a lot of child actors, a lot of musicians, any people in the creative sphere, they fucking go crazy because they just use you, they abuse you, and then they throw you to the wayside, and they're like, all right, you're done. We don't need you anymore. And at the end of it, you're left empty because you don't own anything. They tricked you into believing you had something, and they just take it away. I'm honestly surprised most of these people haven't gotten clapped, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro, because I just don't see how they can get away with this. And then they're always talking about how much they're doing for us and how this is a great thing. This place needs a regime change, like seriously. First start with Mark Zuckerberg.